Alright guys, so this video is completely rushed and just unplanned, but I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts on the whole Mr. T Lexify situation, to where I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but if you've seen his most recent video, which, oh my god, that video was fucking fantastic. We'll get into that in a second, but I just want to say that I think it's, at this point, pretty definitive that it was all a bunch of bullshit, and that she was the real abuser all along, in which case I have to say that unfortunately, originally I was one of those people that thought, okay, it looks like he is abusive, because when I heard about the screenshots and like one of them was like him apologizing for choking her, and I'm pretty sure later he ended up like admitting a ton of stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty definitive proof if you have screenshots and they admit to it, that it's very clear he was an abuser. But I heard all these people saying like, oh, how could he do this to such a sweet girl? And then I always just kind of found their relationship odd, because I remember she just kind of showed up in a few of his videos. It was like playing zombies with my girlfriend, and it was like that for a couple months, and then it was just like nothing. Just boom, she just wiped off the face of the planet. And I was like, the hell's up with that? But then I saw this video, and it showed a bunch of screenshots of like messages and stuff, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like textbook abuse. Like, she is no better than him. Arguably, she's worse. And I had a ton of people saying, like, no, it's not. She's not that bad. He's so much worse. And I'm like, no, that's bullshit. Like, this, like, I've been in a toxic relationship before. I don't really want to talk about this part because I don't want to make this about me, but I've been in a toxic relationship before. And it looked exactly like this. Except for the pedophilia part and the rape part. But, like, the way she talked, the way she made him feel guilty when it wasn't his fault, same thing happened to me. And instantly I was just like, oh my god, like, even if he is abusive, like, this is wrong. Like, she's arguably worse than him. So I was defending him, even for a while. Okay, defending is a strong word, but I was saying, like, okay, he may be bad, but she is worse. She is significantly worse, and it was pissing me off for the longest time. Originally, I was going to make a video before Mr. T's video, all about, like, how I'm just kind of angry how she's able to get away with all this, and how it's, like, really easy for her because she's a girl, so she basically just gets a free pass on most things in this situation. And thankfully, his video came out. Great video, by the way. I would recommend if you watch it. But the best part was he lit a fire on the zombies community. Holy shit. He was talking about how Noah J cheated on his wife, how JC was like fucking his girlfriend's sister, and how Pat basically just totally ignored Lex and instantly went with Reagan's side and made a whole video talking about how he like denounces him as a human and how he can't be his friend anymore. Oh my god. And having everyone go from, oh, Lex is a pedophile, to, oh yeah, Mr. Smithblaze is right. And then they see Lex's video, they're like, oh man, all these other people are garbage. Lex, you're the real man for coming out like this. I'm like, shut up, you fucking assholes. Everyone went from hating Lex to instantly loving him. Honestly, I'd want to see Pat come back, make a video, and then everyone hates on Lex again. It would be kind of funny just to see how gullible everyone is. But in reality, I don't know if that happens, but it would be funny. But it's just, I'm really happy that this whole situation has kind of ended. But it's also kind of sad because you see all these big YouTubers that everyone loved as a kid and everyone still watches them, and they're like the big zombies YouTubers, and it just turns out they're a bunch of scumbags. That sucks, because I grew up watching a lot of these guys. Ever since I started watching YouTube, first thing I got into was Call of Duty Zombies videos and Nerf gun videos. Call of Duty Zombies, I started watching Ali A back in the day when he was recording Black Ops 2 Zombies videos. I remember watching the Buried playthrough thinking like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. And then I watched the Smith plays, I watched Lex. I was never huge into Noah or JC or anything like that, but I remember watching the Z House as well. Oh, good times. But it's kind of sad to see all that crumble apart. But I am really glad this situation is kind of tipped over and just kind of flowed out. Really happy to see that Mr. T Lexify is doing well. really happy to have that video at that, because I'll be totally honest. Like, the whole situation with the girlfriend and seeing those messages, it was, like, genuinely pissing me off. Because I've been through the same thing, and it hurts. It's terrible. If you've never been in a toxic relationship, you probably won't have any idea. You think, oh, it's not that bad. Believe me, it is one of the most, like, genuinely degrading and, like, dehumanizing experiences ever. And it's like you want it to work so badly that you'll put in so much effort, but they won't do anything, and you just keep feeling like you're not trying hard enough because it's not working. But eventually, when it's all done, you'll go through a phase of like, oh, this sucks, my life is terrible. But then once that phase is done, you'll be like, okay, I'm really glad this is over. I still beat myself up over it sometimes, but I'm just, as someone who's been in a relationship that's toxic, it's really, really good. It's an amazing feeling when it's over, because you finally get to go back to being quote-unquote happy as you can be. After that experience, it's just traumatizing. But I'm really happy that this situation is over, and I'm really happy that he ended up being innocent, for the most part. You know, there's still some things with him, you know, dating a girl like that, you know, the whole situation, it's definitely not squeaky clean, but really happy the situation's over, and please, please, go support him. Go watch the video. Don't watch, like, Pat's video and all that stuff. Just don't. Also, don't go on their channels and just start talking shit. Like, that's just very unnecessary. But go support Lex. If you haven't seen the video, it's called My Ex. It's literally just a thumbnail of his ex's face, and just the funniest fucking thing ever. But please go watch the video, and that's all I have to say. I've dragged this on enough. I hope to see you guys in 30 years when I upload again.